I trade spot and futures on BYDFi, and if you want to set up an account now, send me a message once you've created your account with your username and UID on Telegram, and I'll put you into a randomly selected prize draw. I've got $10, $20 and $50 gift cards to give out, which basically go against your trading fees, giving you free trading fees basically until the gift cards run out. BYDFi.
Good morning everybody, welcome back. Right, I'm going to show you something that's going to be probably against the grain. People aren't going to like it, and I can understand that, because obviously what I'm about to present to you is bullish, and that is not the way that people are thinking right now. People are not thinking about bullish stuff. In fact, people are thinking super bearish, and that's fine, because I've been talking about that since December. So let's look at Ethereum, and then I'm going to show you some other stuff first. So obviously I hear everybody's still talking about the Bitcoin ETF and blah, 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 blah. That's fine. That is something to talk about. But it's, as far as being presented on a chart is concerned, it's difficult to say, what effect that's going to have. Let's just focus on the chart. And rather than looking at Bitcoin, which, I'll just quickly run through it extremely quickly. There's nothing much to say about it. Still bullish. It's still bullish, right? The 4 hourly is okay. The daily is actually really quite good. Still trending above all moving averages. Coming down today just to hit the 21 exponential again. So it's still in an uptrend with divergences across the board. Does look quite good, let's face it. The only thing is that we're still consolidating on momentum, but generally speaking, it seems okay. And we're okay for each one of these supports. I don't see any reason that we'll be breaking down below 37,750. And that's just Bitcoin for you. I think it's more likely that we do trend up on this one, with or without the ETF, right? What I'm showing you today, though, is about Ethereum and the Bitcoin dominance chart. So we've been coming down for a fair while now on altcoins, exactly as expected. But, nothing just goes straight down all the time forever, and nothing goes straight up all the time forever. There's always some kind of, even if it's not a reversal, some kind of counter move. So the first thing we're going to look at is Ethereum on the daily, hitting that 50 exponential once again, still maintaining the 2,150 support zone, which, as far as I'm concerned with Ethereum, is actually bullish, really, to stay above there. That is like a major milestone for Ethereum. We had this major drop down here in 2022 with a massive rebound. We had clear breakdowns from this area, major top over here. So this is a big deal to be above this level. We have retested it a few times, had some good responses. In fact, when we tested it over here, we went on to make a new local high. And at the moment, we're this wicked through it, but for the most part, we're above it. And we're closed above it the whole time. We've also closed above a 50 exponential, which is also a golden cross retest, right? It's a golden cross retest. Being bullish on Ethereum would require coming down to support. Either this support, golden cross retest, this support, major horizontal, or maybe this support down here, which is another 13% drop, which would be a really big buy. And I'm not joking, that would be a big buy for Ethereum. Even me, who've got quite a lot of Ethereum, all the way from back in the last cycle when I bought it $160, I would actually buy some more at this area. You might think I'm crazy because people are like, oh, what? All the other altcoins in the world, why would you buy Ethereum? It's just so rubbish. It's good risk to reward, right? Good chance of success. It's a good hodl. It's basically like Bitcoin, really. Slow and steady wins the race, basically. So yeah, I would buy more at that level, with a view to probably sell this at the end of the cycle, some point in the middle to late 2025. To be fair, and I don't know what price it's going to be, so don't ask me. But it would be higher than where I bought it from. I can tell you that, or I would assume it. Otherwise, I wouldn't buy it. So. But at the moment, on the short term, it seems okay to me. This wick right now that we're seeing on today's candle body, even at this early hour before 8 o'clock, looks quite bullish to me. So let's take it down a notch to a 4 hourly. And we do see that we have lost a lot of areas, but not completely broken the trend. I mean, the uptrend is still strong on a daily, and we have not confirmed any kind of death cross, although the simple moving averages are about to cause a death cross at some point soon. But we will avoid a death cross on exponentials if we can just reclaim 2,250 and above. So let's have a look at the momentum on here. So we have seen all this way here, bullish momentum. I wouldn't call it bullish divergence, but bullish momentum. We do have bullish divergence forming on, well, I suppose you've got two drives of it, haven't you, really? Two major drives on the 4 hourly. Lots of other altcoins, by the way, have got multiple drives. 2, 3s and 4s, which is something interesting that I'm going to present to you in the form of the dominance chart in a minute. So I actually think that we might start this week now with a bit of a move up on Ethereum and Bitcoin and altcoins. I think altcoins have bled for a long enough period of time since we dumped down with this major wick. Obviously, a lot of other altcoins really felt that, and that was like a week ago now. So I think they've had a nice little bleed, and it's time for their bounce. And why not? Because, like I say, we're above a 50 here, we're above a support here, and we're diverging with moving averages. So I think it's time for that bounce. So let's just have a look at the Bitcoin dominance chart. I'm starting here on the monthly. So the monthly seems to have found some kind of rejection around this 50 exponential moving average. And I'm not here to say that this is where it's all going to come down from, but I think a reaction around this area is reasonable. The main areas for another major alt season is going to be higher. So we're talking 57 to 58, maybe even up into the lower 60s. But for the moment, we've had reactions from this area in the past. We had a savage one over here. And then recently we've had front run areas. Last month we had a big reaction from it, and now we're coming up to test it. Now, based on the monthly, that's basically all we've got. All the other time frames suggest actually further upside is more likely because we're above all the trend. But just like any chart, you buy a support, you sell a resistance, buy a support, you sell a resistance, and we recognize now that the Bitcoin dominance chart has bounced on a 200 exponential moving average, which is a golden cross retest. Same thing that I'm proposing for altcoins is happening at the moment. For a lot of altcoins, that would be Ethereum bouncing on its 50 exponential, which makes it more bullish. So this is the scenario, I suppose, that Ethereum is looking at right now. So we've come down part of a golden cross retest bounce. This one as well, part of a golden cross retest bounce. That's the sort of scenario that we're looking at for Ethereum. Just to put it across, there's your golden cross, there's your 50 exponential. We'll be looking for a bounce. Maybe not a proper V-shaped recovery, but at least a retest of the previous high. So we're talking 2,400 really. If Ethereum can do that, then altcoins should be able to move with it. I can't think of a particular altcoin of any significance to show you, so I always look at the ones that are my hodl bags really. This is Atom. What else we got? XRP, USDT. We'll have a look at some of these just to bring up some of the more popular ones. What else is popular? Solana. We'll have a look at that. And we'll just have a look at how the symmetry is working, if it's working at all. What else is a big one? What's a big altcoin these days? I'm so out of the loop when it comes to the market cap. We'll have a look at Algo. Because there is no altcoin that's created equal. They're all very different, and you can see they're all getting beaten up right now. But if we're looking for a move in the overall market, driven by Ethereum and also the dominance chart, then we could probably negotiate on some of these charts what's best. One more altcoin would be nice. What's a really big one at the moment? I'm talking to myself, obviously. Top 10 altcoin. BNB. Of course. Right then, let's just run through these just very briefly to see what's going on absolutely quickly. Right, so BNB on the daily on its Bollinger Band center, that's really good. Golden crosses are down here, so we've got a golden cross on the 50 at 273 and the 200 exponential down here at 250. So actually still quite a bullish trend really, not particularly overheated or anything like that, so it looks okay to me. Algorand, so it lost its 50, came down to a major support. You can see the bounce already taking place at the moment. A little bit further down would have been 1550. So yeah, Algorand's getting a bounce on a major support, and again this is a big support for it really. It's not a nothing. So Algorand's responding to its chart with a nice big wick on it already, so that's quite good to see. Solana, what are you doing? Okay, so Solana is above the 50 exponential, very similar to Ethereum. It's a bullish trend. It's consolidating, and if you're going to get a reaction, it would be around here, the bottom of the Bollinger Band, 50 exponential moving average. Again, I'm not proposing brand new all-time highs or anything like that. I'm proposing a decent bounce and maybe continuation back up to where we lost them from. It doesn't have to happen, but if we're going to see something like that, it would kind of happen now. XRP beating up pretty badly, so XRP actually is losing the plot here now. now. So actually, as far as XRP is concerned, once below a 200 exponential on a daily, it's kind of a write-off until further notice. You can only really get bullish on this one when same with any chart, but really, especially XRP. If you're below a 200 simple and exponential, it's a big problem. And you can see here that we've got a rejection on that 200 simple. So actually, XRP is written off until further notice. Doesn't mean that it can't move. It certainly can, but based on moving averages at least, this isn't the place you would expect any kind of move. And for those of you that are really wanting to know a little bit more, then we do have a bit of a support around the 54-cent zone, which gives us, I suppose, a little bit of hopium down at these levels, but still doesn't look good for XRP. Atom. So Atom's actually been beaten up quite badly, but holding on to that 200 exponential, golden cross retest, the wick, and today's candle body. It's weaker than most, but still in a position where it might even do a V-shaped recovery. It has been quite weak, Atom, to be fair, so I would be surprised if it did do it. But from where we are right now, it wouldn't be unreasonable to expect to move back up to 1020, which is like a major support. And actually, all of this zone down here is what I would consider a major accumulation zone for the future. So yeah, I mean, just putting it out there. Really, I think that today looks like as good a day as any to expect a better, more aggressive reaction to the upside than we've had over the last week since the drop. Obviously, we do need Bitcoin to maintain some kind of healthy position on the chart, which is going to be any time that we are above 43,200, which is basically a 20 exponential moving average on a daily. We don't want to see that get lost, because then that does make it more likely that we see 41 again, which is again nothing more than a golden cross retest, and then if that gets lost, then incrementally making our way down and actually beginning the consolidation that we've been proposing since December. But for the moment, it doesn't look like it wants to do that, and so that's okay. But that would be like a major invalidation, and then at that point we can start to really think about how we're going to deal with a long-term consolidation over maybe as little as perhaps maybe 2 to as many as maybe 8 months. I know that's quite a large difference in time, but I mean, you've got to see that how a trend goes. Really, it's not you can't really say I think this will consolidate for X amount of time before a consolidation started, because they can pick up pace due to a whole range of things, or even sort of forex markets, which drive the majority of the market. So, we don't really know, and we can't really say. And at the moment, we haven't even seen the consolidation even begin, so we don't even know if we're going to consolidate from this level. I just wanted to put it to you that that would be my expectation, that a longer, more, it's a healthy thing, consolidation would happen. And when you consolidate, especially a longer drawn out consolidation, that's when FUD starts to kick in, and they push you down below the sort of areas that you would have thought previously you would have held, like in the last bear market, for instance. The last bear market was retracing quite nicely, and I felt it was reasonable to dollar cost average throughout. But then when FTX actually exploded, then it came down below I'd call it below a reasonable area of support, and it did mark the low. But as far as the chart is concerned, I was surprised to see it come down that low, although it did mark the absolute bottom. So, just putting it out there now that it does look to me like there is a chance of some upside on altcoins, and if you were to extend that, some of these altcoins might even make a V-shaped recovery up to where they were previously lost. So we're talking, just looking at these charts now, something like Atom could see itself back up at 12. XRP could see its way back up to the mid-60s. Solana could see its way back up to 124. Algorand, could see its way back up to 24 cents. And BNB, for instance, which is actually a good-looking chart, could actually see even higher than that. So I'll leave it with you there. This video is probably going to attract a lot of trolls, because they don't like to hear counter to what they actually see in front of their face. But that's how it looks to me. It does look like it wants to do that sort of thing. Is it something worthy of playing? For me, I'm in it a little bit. This is one of the dips that I feel like is appropriate to try. Based on everything that I've explained, it's appropriate to try it, but not with your entire net worth, not with any of your kidneys or any of your kids. This is a trade which might fail, but I'm willing to give it a shot. Right, I'll leave it with you there. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.